Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Detroit Tigers franchise mode here in MLB The Show 21. So in last episode, we simmed the rest of the regular season, and we had our best season yet, and we actually made the playoffs with the lead in our divisions. So we're going to be taking on Toronto in the ALDS. The winner of the series will go on to face either Minnesota or Houston, so should be pretty interesting. Houston's going to be a tough task if we get past Toronto, but Toronto is also a pretty tough task because they have some really good hitters in their lineup. Well, we're better at pitching. I will show you guys their roster again. So starting with the lineups, as you can see, this is our lineup going up into the playoffs. Willie Castro and Victor Reyes had really good seasons this year. Both of them hit over 300, so I'm expecting some big things from them in this playoff run. We also got Candelario in our lineup, who had a little bit of a drop-off from last season, but he was healthy all year round, which is good. I think at least he might have missed a few games here and there. We also had Vidal Brujan, who had his best season yet so far as well, I think. He had a 702 OPS, which is pretty good. Not as good as his first season, which he played only 26 games, but one of his first full seasons, this is his best so far, so that's good. Fernando Valdez had one of his worst seasons yet, so I'm expecting some big playoff numbers from him, mainly due to his injury, I think, though. But he had 15 home runs and 54 RBIs, but only a 675 OPS, which is way down from his 835 he had a few years ago. I'm really hoping that he could have a really good playoff run this year. We also got Bryant Packard, who had a pretty good season. I believe he won like a Golden Glove for left fielders or something, or outfielders. I don't even know. But he had a 766 OPS, so this is his best season yet. Eduardo Cortez barely played this year, but in 4 games in his career, he's hitting at 235 with a 557 OPS, which is not great, but we have to play him because we do have a major injury, which I will show you guys in a bit. Victor Reyes, like I was saying, just had a really good season. That 867 OPS is fantastic. Gary Hara had a pretty good season, hitting at 250, and he had less home runs and a little bit more RBIs than he did in last year, where he only played 32 games. But I do expect some big stuff from Gary Hara because he's only getting better. Like, his contact hitting is getting close to being in the 70s, and then he's all around a really solid player, I would say. So that's pretty good, and his fielding is also pretty good, so hopefully that helps us out defensively. And then Jackson Reitz had his best season of his career. We're hitting at 273 with a nice 814 OPS. He also had 22 home runs and 79 RBIs. So very excited to see what Jackson Reitz could do in this postseason. And then bench-wise, we had to call up Luis Garcia for the playoffs. He barely has played, but he's been very good when he did play. Like, he literally had 5 hits on 14 at-bats. And he had 3 RBIs and 1 home run. He was like hitting a 357 with that 1.256 OPS, so we're going to keep him in our lineup just in case. We also have Luis Laurencio, who had a pretty solid season, I think, but not that great. 9 home runs and 36 RBIs. This might be one of his last years here because we do have other catchers in the system. We have Brock Deathridge, who had a pretty solid year as well. And then George Veras had an okay year for his overall, actually, hitting at 235 with a 704 OPS, so despite him being a 68, that contact hitting is definitely helping him out. And then we also called up Drew Waters, who's barely played. And then obviously, let's get to our pitching. Actually, wait, I should show you guys the lineups for Toronto, and then we'll get into the pitching combinations. So, as you can see, they have Miles Straw, who had a pretty solid season, I'm pretty sure. Nick Prado. Gleyber Torres is coming into the playoffs really hot, though, because I looked at the best players of the month, and Gleyber Torres was like the best player for September. But yeah, he is dropping off, but he is his season this year was really good, hitting at 282, had a 0.9 OPS. It's a little bit down from a few years ago, but still a very good season from Gleyber Torres. And then Randy Arozarena, this is a guy we need to definitely watch out for because he's got 99 power against right-handed pitchers, and most of our starting pitchers are right-handed, so that's a little bit scary. This guy hit 53 home runs this year and 120 RBIs, so yeah, we got to definitely watch out for him. I think he won the MVP, if I'm not mistaken. They also have Xander Bogaerts, who is pretty solid for them, hitting at 287. Alec Thomas, this guy has not played apparently. Interesting. I don't know if they had to call him up for an injury problem. Danny Jansen, this guy had an okay season as well, hitting at 261. So you can see their entire lineup is pretty good in terms of batting average, which our team was also as well. But I feel like their team is a little bit better in terms of overall ratings. Jacob Gonzalez hitting at 664, and then Christopher Cespedes was hitting at 257. So they're a little bit weaker near their bottom of the lineup, but at the front of their lineup, like going up against guys like Straw, Prado, Torres, Erosina, and Bogarts, that's going to be very tough. And then, yeah, their bottom four, I think Danny Jansen's definitely going to be the toughest out of the mix there. But then they also have some really good bench players. They got Torrens, Diaz, Lopez, Jami Jones, I think it's Jamai, maybe, I don't even know, Josh Rojas, and yeah, that's pretty much their starting lineup. And then we go to the pitching rotation for both teams. We have definitely the upper hand in terms of overalls and like depth and stuff like that in like the bullpen and whatnot, because Skubal had a fantastic year this year. Mize had a pretty good solid season. Same with McElroy, Manning, and Martin kind of struggled this year by comparison to last year, but still pretty solid, I would say. And then our bullpen has Wentz, Jordan, Alexander, Poche, Norris, Aoki, and Corona's going to be our closer now, just because he is getting up there really good in overall, and also, as you can see, he limits walks and limits home runs, so he would be a perfect closer to have in our lineup. If we go to Toronto, though, they aren't as good. They do have some really good pitchers like Nate Pearson and Mike Soroka, but it drops off a lot to DL Hall, Pablo Lopez, and I believe Terrell Loesch just won Rookie of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think he won Rookie of the Year. So, yeah, he had a really good year, despite him only being an 80 overall, so we got to watch out for that. And then in their bullpen, they have not as great of players. They got McClanahan, they got Brunson, Sousa, Voth, James, and Zepeda, and Graytel. Bruce Dar, this dude is a really good closer. I think he won the Reliever of the Year award. So, yeah, we got to be careful when Bruce Dar is in the lineup. But anyways, that is pretty much their roster and a haul that are set up going into this playoff matchup. Now, I do have one comment I'd like to go over before we actually get into the playoff matchup, and that is from Dylan Burrows. He says, quick manage, you would basically use the pitch and hit normal option. Make sure to sub out your pitchers, if you want to sub out your batters. I like quick manage option personally, or simmed by inning in the same option. So yeah, we're gonna probably sim by inning in that same option, and then I think we could go into like maybe where I actually start doing the batting and the pitching in like the later innings, just because that way I could actually maybe make the game closer. But I'm kind of scared about using that function because I don't really know how to use it. Like I don't really understand about what it means to pitch around a pitcher. Like I don't understand what exactly that is. So anyways, if you guys can explain that type of things to me, like pitching around a player and like all that, what the uses of doing that is, then let me know, because that way I could actually be better for doing that. But yeah, anyways, let's get into this playoff matchup. I'm very excited to see if we could actually win the series, but like I said, it's going to be probably pretty tough, because like during the regular season wise, like I think, yeah, I wrote down actually, we had a better batting average combined. Toronto had more runs scored than us. We had more hits. We had more doubles. But they had more triples, home runs, and RBIs. And in stolen base wise, we had them beat. Strikeout wise, we had them beat, so we didn't strike them out as often. Or we didn't get struck out as often as they did. On base percentage, we had. And in ground into double plays, they had, so they had less ground into double plays. And in ERA wise, we had them beat. And they had us beat save wise. So a little bit of an even matchup, I would say, at the most. So let's finally get into this. The ALDS, we got home field. So yeah, Tarek Skubal is going to be for game 1, and then we'd go to Casey Mize for game 2. Since it's a best 3 of 5, we have Chauncey in game 3. And if we are somehow able to like sweep the series, then yeah, we will go back to Tarek Skubal for game 1 of next round. So let's get into this and see if we can do this. So we'll go to quick manage, right? Yeah, I think it's manage. Wait, yeah, it's quick manage. Quick manage, and we go to Detroit, and yeah, we're going to use our home uniforms. I don't even know who that is on our team. Oh yeah, the injury that I didn't show you guys actually the injury we had, but you guys probably would have seen in last episode. Anyways, it was for not Fernando Valdez. It was Colvin. Colvin went down with an injury for 1 to 2 months. So without Colvin, this team is not as good, and I'm kind of skeptical about not having Colvin in our lineup, but it is what it is. So anyways, let's get into this first game at Comerica Park. See what we could do. Yeah, we'll leave all this the same. And yeah, Scooble is going to be our starter. And there is our batting players. Should be exciting to see if we can win this. So I could simulate to next half inning. So instead of actually I don't understand what pitch to round is, and pitch to contact I know is to make a player hit. That's probably not that good at hitting that far. Pitch around I don't really know what is. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna just go by individual inning. So let's go to the end of the first inning. So they're up to bat first. Let's see what happens, and they get 2 runs in that first inning. That is not a good start for Tarek Skubal. Hopefully he bounces back next one. So second half of the first inning. Let's see what happens. We don't score anything. We didn't even get a single hit. That's not good. Going on to the second inning, Tarek Skubal. Let's see what happens, and we're still down 2-0. They got another hit, and we apparently had an error, which is not good. Let's see if we could bounce back, as Fernando Valdez will start off this at-bat. Maybe actually I could do the batting. I don't know. But let's go to the next inning, and we're still down 2-0. We got some hits, though, apparently that one, which is good. At least we're getting on base. And it's still only a 2-run lead. It's not that bad, but hopefully we could play a little bit better defensively and whatnot, and not give up as much hits. Let's go on to the end of this, or to the bottom of the third, and we're now down 3-0, and we've given up 5 hits. So not a really good start for Tarek Skubal in this ALDS. Gary Hare is up to bat to start this third. Let's see if he can get anything going, and he can't. We're still down. I think we got to change out Tarek Skubal soon. Like, maybe give him one more inning, but his energy is getting low, and he's not been off to a great start. Let's go to the next inning, and still down 3-0. We've given up 6 hits. I think we got to go to a different pitcher for next game, or not next game, next inning. Nate Pearson is in for Toronto still, and he's been really good for them. Candelario up to bat, and he doesn't get anything going. Yeah, I think we got to change out Tarek Skubal, because he's not been good enough. I mean, his energy level could be a little bit worse. Do I leave him for one more inning? It's a little bit of a risk, but I think I'll do that. So I think, yeah, we'll do one more inning with Tarek Skubal as our pitcher. At least get him like halfway through the game, pretty much. Let's see what happens in the 5th, and Toronto gets another one. So that was not really a good, smart option, but whatever. Let's see if we can get bounced back, because we're getting outplayed, definitely. Like, normally we're a good defensive, well, not an offensive team, but a good pitching team. But we're getting torn up by a team that's a really good batting team, so kind of makes sense. But right now, Packard and Cortez are the only ones with hits on our team. Come on, boys, let's get something going, and we don't get anything going. We did get another hit, though, which is good, but still down by 4 runs, which is not good. And yeah, Tarek Skubal definitely needs to be substituted now. So we're going to have to substitute. Actually, we need to go pitching change, not substitution. Pitching change, we're going to have to bring in a reliever, which I guess we could bring in Wentz. Should we bring in Wentz? How was Wentz's season? He was really solid. Or we could go with Alexander. Or Poche, or Norris. I think I'll go with maybe Alexander. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Alexander for this. So we're going to bring in Tyler Alexander, see if Tyler Alexander could get us out of this game. So let's sim through this half of the inning, and okay, I think he gave up a hit. I could be wrong with that, though. I don't remember what they had for hits before that. We're still down 4-0. And then next inning, hey, we get 3 runs. That was a really good inning. Don't know who got that started, but good on you. Let's take actually a quick look at that. Detroit lineup, 1 for 3. Damn, Cortez is 3 for 3 on his first ever playoff game, and everybody's first ever playoff game pretty much on this team. but that is really good numbers. 3 for 3. Nice to see. But we are within 1 run, which is good, and we also got a lot of hits that inning. Because we were just only at like 2 hits, I think. We're now at 8 hits total, so we got 6 hits that inning. So, very good start. Come on, Tyler Alexander, let's do good. There we go. Still 4 to 3. Bennett Sousa is now in for them as the pitcher. Looks like he actually finished up the last inning a little bit after it was not great from Pearson. Jackson Reitz is up to bat, and we get more. Oh my god, what the heck? That was a crazy inning. 10 runs scored. Okay, I see you guys. I see you. Detroit with a very good 13 to 4 lead now. Wow, that guy just got lit up. See, their bullpen isn't that good, so we could definitely take advantage of that. But 13 to 4, and all of our players have hits now in this game. Gary Hare is still struggling, and Candelario is still struggling, but it's been a fantastic night for Cortez, and then a lot of the other guys have like 2 hits. But damn, was not expecting that much runs in an inning, especially near the end of the game. We've got to keep Alexander in. He's been fantastic so far out of the bullpen. And eventually we could put in Corona as our closer, but we are up by a lot, so we might not even need to use him. Let's see what happens in the 8th. They don't get anything. Josh James is now up for them. He played that, I guess, near the end of last inning, and he gave up a lot of hits because he's got a 54 ERA so far in this game and a 6 whip. Fernando Valdez is up to bat. Can he make him pay? No, he can't. We have now 17 hits, but still 13 to 4. Going into this final inning, we're going to put in our closer. Might as well give Corona a playoff chance. So Corona is going to come in just to close out this game, even though we're up by quite a bit, and we're going to win. 13 to 4 final. There's our first ever playoff win under my GM supremacy, I guess you could say. The player of the game going to Vidal Brujan, who went 2 for 5 with 2 runs, a home run, 5 RBIs in a double. 5 RBI game for Brujan. That's fantastic. Good to see. That was a great first game. We actually won a playoff game with that simulation style. I like it. Let's go to game 2. Sim through date. But that was a fantastic start. Hopefully that isn't all our runs that we're going to score in this round, though. Like, hopefully we don't all of a sudden just go on a dry spell in these next few games. But that was a really good offensive game against a really good offensive team. Like, it started a little bit slow, but we bounced back pretty good. So now Casey Mize is going to come in for game number 2. Let me just take a look quickly before we get into game 2. Tarek Skubal was, not that great. His ERA was horrible and his whip was horrible, but hopefully he can be better when he goes back into the lineup next time, which hopefully he gets it next time. And then reliever-wise, what was it? Alexander. Yeah, Alexander was fantastic as a reliever. He definitely helped us out. And Diego Corona was fantastic as that closer to get us that save. So, there we go. Let's get into game 2 of the ALDS. We still have home field. Let's see if we could have another good game. Casey Mize starting, like I said. Let's see what happens. And hopefully we could get get a 2-0 series lead here. And then we'll be 1 win away from going to the ALCS. So Casey Mize, and yep, we're going to keep the lineup the same. So here we go. Casey Mize now up against Miles Straw. Let's see what happens here in this first half inning. Okay, they got 1 hit, but a pretty good first inning from, by comparison to the last game for the team. Mike Soroka is pitching against Willie Castro. Let's see if we could take advantage of that, because Soroka is only an 87. And then Castro had a fantastic season during the regular season, and he actually is off to a good start this postseason too. So let's see what happens in this inning, and we got a hit as well. So looks like a pretty even start. Second inning, still pretty good. Brian Packard's up to start the second, and we get more hits, but we don't score on any of those opportunities, which is not good. We do have 4 hits though, as opposed to their 1. Third inning wise, they get a hit, but they don't get anything scoring wise. Soroka up again in this third. Still even. This might be a little bit more of a closer game, unless somebody breaks through here soon. next inning in the 4th, and they're gonna be the first people to score. They get 2 runs, and yeah, they have 4 hits now as well. So hopefully we can bounce back with some runs of our own. As Eduardo Cortez is up to bat, he's been fantastic this postseason, hitting a .667 and 6 at bats so far. Let's see what he could do here, and he's not gonna do anything. That's not good. Christopher Cespedes up to bat for them. He's been actually pretty good for batting average. Let's see what happens here in this 5th. Then they don't get. They got 1 hit, but they didn't score any runs. Jackson Reeds is up. He's hitting a .500, so he's been fantastic as well. Let's see what happens, and we get 2 of our own. There we go. We're having some good mid to late round round innings, which is good. So this game is tied. We have 1 more hit than they do now. I don't know who got our hits for us or got our runs for us. But hit-wise, so far everybody's been a little bit off. There's a lot of guys that are 1 for 2, but there is also a lot of guys that are 1 for 3. But we do have Cortez up to bat to start next inning that we play. So I think I'm going to keep Casey in for this inning, but I will change him out probably next inning. Let's see what happens. They don't get anything. Mike Soroka is low on energy. Come on, Cortez. I know you don't really got the power, so you probably can't get a home run, but at least get like maybe something going for the team. Let's see what happens here in this 6th, and we're not going to get anything out of that, even though he's low on energy. I think I'm going to substitute Casey Mize out, though, even though his energy is not that bad. I would like to get his energy probably back to good for potentially next round if we get there. So we are going to substitute him or pitching change. And Alexander, since he played last game, I think I could go to David Jordan. But David Jordan's a little bit of a worse pitcher. Or maybe I go to Wentz. How is Norris this year? Norris barely played. And we'll go to Wentz, I think. Yeah, we're going to give Joey Wentz the opportunity to come in here and see what he can do. So Joey Wentz in the 7th. Can he do anything? He gives up hits and he gives up 1 run, and Toronto has the lead 3-2. That is not good. McClanahan is up now for Toronto as their pitcher. Can we get stuff going against him? No, we cannot. That might not have been a good option to put in Wentz. Maybe we should have put in somebody else. But here we go, the 8th inning, and Wentz gives up another hit, but he doesn't give up a run, so that's good. Come on, boys. We need 1 run to tie this game up. Let's see what happens here in the 8th, and we don't get anything going. Wentz again, and okay, so we are going to the bottom of the 9th, down by 1 run. We will actually do the swinging ourselves in this part. So Eduardo Cortez up to bat. Let's see what he does. Oh, they're changing pitchers, so in comes their closer in Bruzdar, which is not good, because Bruzdar is very good at closing. So Cortez swings and he gets a single. Okay, that's good. We got him on base. He's not the fastest guy, Cortez, so I don't think I could get him to steal. Victor Reyes, so yeah, let's try to hit and run. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's try to hit and run. Fly out. That's not good. Let's try and swing. Double play. Oh, that ends the game. And we're going to lose 3-2 in game 2. That sucks. Xander Bogaerts, the player of the game, going 2 for 4 with a run, a home run, and an RBI. So, despite us having a really good first game, this game was not as offensive, but we do only lose by 1, so that's not too bad. But Joey Wentz is going to be considered with the loss, as he gave up that run that lost us the game. And now the series shifts to Toronto too, so now we actually got to play on the road, which is going to be a little bit tough. Chauncey McElroy's got a tough task ahead of him, and then it's Matt Manning for the next game. And if there's a game 5, it's Gerald Martin's game. Do we want to change anything with our lineups? Probably not. I'm going to keep it the same, I think. Most of these, Candelario is doing horrible though. I think I'm going to move Candelario back in the lineup, because Candelario has been a weak link on this team right now. Cortez has been fantastic. Hara's not been that great either. Let's go with something like that. And then, I don't even know if this is going to affect any of it. Candelario is going to get bumped back on all these areas just because he's not been that great. Laurencio is in the lineup on that side. Interesting. Okay, there we go. So now we shift to Toronto, looking to see if Chauncey McElroy could get his first ever playoff win. Let's see what happens here in Game 3. Quick manage. There you go. Boom. Rogers center. And let's get into this. Chauncey McElroy. Let's see what he could do. Go to this lineup. I don't want to do that. There you go. And let's see what happens inning by inning. So the first inning, we start off Willie Castro up to bat. We get one hit, but we don't score any runs, but that's good to get some hits early. Chauncey up to pitch in this first inning, and he gives up a hit of his own, but no runs, which is good. Eduardo Cortez is the leadoff man for the second inning against DL Hall, and he doesn't get anything going for the team. Chauncey up again, and they get their first run of the inning. It must have been a home run, because it was the only other hit that they got. So it might have been like a leadoff home run for Bogarts. Third inning, still down by 1. Chauncey's been pretty solid so far, I would say. Third inning, oh, we gave up another hit. We're still down by 1 only though. Fernando Valdez up to start the 4th. Damn, we're not getting anything going against DL Hall so far. 4th inning, down 2-0 now. That's not good. I don't know who's scoring for them, but yeah, that's not good. We only have 1 hit through 4 innings as well, so we need to really get our guys going. 5th inning, we still don't get anything going. Oh my. Come on, Chauncey, you got to pitch some better stats. Well, actually, you've been good, I would say. So, 5th inning, and we're still down 2-0. Okay. Castro to start the 6th. Can we get back in this game? No, we cannot. Not yet. Still only 1 hit. Chauncey's still got some energy, so I think I'll let him pitch for the 6th inning. DL Hall, damn, this guy has a really good energy. This guy could pitch an entire game by himself. Like, he's only at like half energy. 7th inning, we still don't get anything going. We only have 1 hit. I think I'll do 1 more inning for Chauncey. And he's going to keep it pretty close. There was another hit, but no run. Still 2-0 with 2 innings to go. Oh, it's impossible to beat this DL Hall. Let's try doing some swinging ourselves since we're in a crucial situation, I guess you could say. Let's swing. We get a ground out. That's not good. Swing again. That's a walk for Candelario. Candelario is not fast enough to steal and probably not fast enough for the hit and run. So we could pinch hit. But who would be pinch hit? Or who would... Laurencio is playing first base, but we don't really have anybody else that could play first base. Yeah, I don't really think I should substitute him out. Come on, Laurencio. And pitching changes. Josh James comes in. This guy was horrible in his first game, but he looks like he's bounced back a tiny bit. Swing and double play. Oh, man. That's not good. We're going to have to change out Chauncey because he's getting pretty tired. He had a pretty good game, but his team is not doing enough right now. So we are going to go to, I think, David Jordan might get an opportunity. Yeah, let's give David Jordan an opportunity. Why not? So David Jordan for the 8th inning. Let's see what he could do. And okay, that is not good. He gives up 2 hits and 2 runs. Or maybe he gave up, 2 hits and 2 runs, I think. And we're down 4-0 going into the last inning. They're definitely going to bring in their closer, but nobody is getting anything going. We have 1 hit throughout 8 innings. We almost got no hit in this game. Oh, that is not good. Okay, let's see if we can get something going here in this 9th inning. Swing, pitching change up, in comes, actually not their closer, it's a reliever in Paul Brunson. Let's see what happens here. Solo home run in the start 9th. Okay, we're within 3. Don't give our hopes up yet, but that's a nice solo home run. Gary Hare up to bat. He strikes out. Fernando Valdez up to bat. He pops up. That's not good. Yeah, we're probably going to lose this now. And up the bat, Victor Reyes, pitching change, in comes their closer for the last guy potentially, and fly out, and we're going to lose 4-1 in Game 3. DL Hall gets the best, or the player of the game. Not a surprise because that guy was fantastic. I didn't expect that guy to be that good because I think he's like an 85 overall. But that really sucks. Really good game from that Toronto team. At least we got 1 run scored, so we did break up the shutout, but still. We're down 2-1 in the series. If we lose the next game, we are eliminated. So let's simulate through this day, and Matt Manning starting this game. Yeah, we got to keep Matt Manning starting this game. I think Matt Manning had a good season, right? If I'm not mistaken. Not the greatest numbers, so I'm a little bit skeptical about that, but it doesn't really matter when it comes to the playoffs, I don't think. And who's pitching for them? Pablo Lopez, which I believe is a right-handed pitcher, correct? Let me just see. Yes, I think. Wait. Oh no, they're back to their main pitcher. They're not even going to their 5th guy. So maybe we go back to... Oh, actually they're trying to close out with Pablo Lopez, who's an 83. So actually that is their 4th pitcher. This guy's actually pretty solid. Do we want to change anything with our lineup? He's a right-handed, so... Let's readjust our lineup a little bit. Put Valdez up here. Who else has been bad? Wow, everybody on our team has not been that good. I'm going to move Cortez, I think, to one of our leadoff spots because he's been really good. And then those 250s could probably stay where they are. That's good. And I think that is good to go. I could swap, what is it, somebody that's playing like, I don't know, swap one of these guys in instead in a different position, but I don't think I'm going to. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it like that. Also, if you guys are wondering where Isaac Paradis is, he's currently sent back down to AAA and not on our playoff roster. The AI did that, so. But anyways, let's get into game number 4. Let's see if we can keep the series alive and force a game 5. Let's see what happens. Hopefully we could win this game or else we're eliminated, but I think it was still a good playoff run if we do lose because we had a good first game. Shows that we do have an upside to this team. Okay, so Matt Manning's going to start, and yeah, that's going to stay the same. Okay, here we go. Game 4, Pablo Lopez against Willie Castro. Let's see what happens here in this first half inning. We are not going to get anything going, but they did have an error, so that's good to see that they're getting errors early. Bottom of the first, and Matt Manning doesn't do anything, so that's good. Or he does do a lot of stuff, which is good. Eduardo Cortez to lead off for the second against Pablo Cortez, and he gets a hit, I think, or somebody got a hit. But we do not score any runs, which is not good. Damn, Randy Arozarena off to a really good start this postseason. He's got 3 of their home runs, so yeah, you could see why it's tough playing against Toronto. Bottom of the second, and we don't give up anything again, so another good inning from Matt Manning. Candelario up. He's been struggling like heavily. It could be because he's dropping off a lot too in overall. Third inning, and we get the first run of the game. Let's go. That's good, and we got 4 hits now in this game as well. So we're opening the scoring early. I like that. Matt Manning's got 5 strikeouts already through two innings. So he's off to a fantastic start. Bottom of the third, and we're still up 4-0. Let's go. Jackson Reed's to lead off for the 4th inning, and we get another hit, but we don't score any runs. Still only up by 1 as Matt Manning's still got 5 strikeouts in 3 innings. Let's see what happens. They get the run back to tie the game up, and they also got 2 hits. That's not good. We're outplaying them right now to an extent, but it's a tie game. Fernando Valdez to lead off the 5th, and he gets nothing going for the team. Christopher Cespedes up for the 5th for them. He gets nothing going for them. This is a really tight game. This is pretty much similar to last game. like the first game, we completely blew them out of the water because of that one inning, but the rest of these games have been pretty close. Pablo Lopez against Victor Reyes for the 6th, and nothing going. Matt Manning's got 7 strikeouts. He's been fantastic in this game. 6th inning, and there it is. We should have maybe substituted Manning out. He gives 3 runs up, and he gives up multiple hits, and now it's a 4-1 lead for Toronto going into the 7th. Come on, Candelario gets something going for us, and he gets a hit, I think, or somebody got a hit, but not enough. We're still down by 3 going into these last few innings. And we're going to have to actually pitch out or take out Matt Manning because he's low on energy, which means I think we got to go back to Alexander because of the way he played in the first game. Like, I could always go to Poche or Norris, but I think I'm going to go back to Alexander because he was really good. 7th inning and good plays. Good play. Okay, now we're going into the 8th, so we're actually going to start swinging on our own. Brian Packard up to bat. Come on, Brian. Pitching change as Alejandro Zepeda comes in. Come on, Packard. He gets a walk, so that's good. He could possibly steal, but his stealing rating is not that great. His speed is solid, though. I don't think I could get him to steal. Eduardo Cortez bunts him, or not bunts him over, but singles as well. So we got 2 men on base. That's a really good start. With no outs. Victor Reyes up. We could try to hit and run to bump these guys over. Hit and run. Fly out. Those guys are still in the same area. That's not good. Let's swing. Ground out. But we do bump those guys over. Both those guys are in scoring position for Gary Harrett. Come on, Gary. You could do this. We're not going to suicide squeeze it because I don't even really know what that is still. Come on. Swing or bunt or steal? Yeah, we're going to swing. Come on, Gary. You've been really struggling this postseason. Gary Harrett hits and he flies out. Oh, man. That was our opportunity to get back in this game. But Gary Harrett can't get it done. Let's pitch through this inning. They don't get anything. Candelario to lead off the 9th. We need 3 runs. He swings. In comes their closer. That's not good. Candelario gets a walk. Okay, I'll take that. Willie Castro, fielder's choice. That's not good. Vidal Brujan, who's off to a pretty solid start this postseason, will also get a fielder's choice. And now he's on base. And we only have 1 out left, or else we're going to be eliminated. As Fernando Valdez comes up. Can Fernando Valdez get us a home run or something? We have more hits than they do this game, but we're down by 3. And he gets a fielder's choice. And we have been eliminated by the Blue Jays in 4 games, unfortunately. I think it was still a good learning experience for this young team, but really sucks that we end up losing. And Pablo Lopez gets the player of the game for them as he pitched 6 innings and played pretty good. Well, that sucks that we got eliminated, but I kind of expected it. Even though Toronto finished worse than us during the regular season, they had a pretty good batting team, and it's like you can't really like slow down that at all in the playoffs. So we lose in 4 games, which means now we could simulate through the awards, or not the awards, like so to see who wins the World Series, and then that will be it for this episode. So actually, let's take a look at the playoff stats for now. So, Mize was really good. Skubal was horrible in that first game, but we still got the win. Chauncey was really good in his first ever playoff game, even though he got credited with the loss. Matt Manning wasn't great, but he did have a really good start to the game until like the 6th inning, I think it was. David Jordan was horrible so far in the postseason. Alexander was a really good reliever for us. And that's pretty much that. Corona was really good at closing that one game. Oh, what else we got here? Reeds was hitting a 250, so he was pretty solid, but he got no runs or no RBIs, or no home runs, I should say. Laurencio was not good enough off the bench, or whatever he was playing. That injury to Colvin really sucked. Fernando Valdez was not great either, but he did have some runs and RBIs and all that. Vidal Brujan was really good. Cortez was fantastic. Like, hitting a 500 average through 16 at-bats is really good. So he's definitely going to be on the team next year, I would say. What else we got here? Candelario hitting a 300. He actually picked it up a little bit. Castro hitting a 235 was not too bad. Garcia didn't even play. Packard hitting a 267, that's pretty good. And then Gary Harrell really struggled hitting a 118. Yeah, that's not good. Hopefully he bounces back from that though. Center fielding wise, Victor Reyes was horrible. He had a really good regular season, but playoff numbers not that good at all. Deathridge wasn't playing. Same with Drew Waters, and George Veras didn't play either. So that's that. Let's take a quick look at who wins the World Series this year, and then we'll also take a look at those awards. So yep, the Astros are going to defeat the Nationals in the 2027 World Series. So I think that's back-to-back World Series for the Astros, as they end up stampeding their way to the finals. They swept Minnesota, and then they win in 5 games against Toronto. So we had a tough task with Toronto. Well, Houston's going to be even tougher if we ever play them. And then Houston also beats Washington in 5. So they only lost 2 games in that postseason, which is nuts. Let's take a look at their roster quickly just for something else. I think it's probably the same as last year. Yeah, they have really good pitching. Relief pitcher-wise, they're a little bit weak, but they still have some really good pitchers. And you can see why they made it that far. Wait, did I just accidentally change over? Yeah, I did. There you go. Yeah, they have a pretty good team all around. You could see why they win so much. There you go. Okay, so that's that. Let's take a look at that award for the playoffs. So Tyrone Taylor is going to be the World Series MVP. This guy hit a 500 average. I don't know how much that bats. I should actually take a look at that. Yeah, let's take a look at that. Let's go back to Houston and take a look at Tyrone Taylor. So this guy hit actually he hit a 290 in the postseason instead, but it was a 500 in that final game, I guess. But yeah, this guy was really good in the postseason. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Detroit Tigers franchise mode. So in next episode, we will have the entire offseason again as we look to maintain our status as making a contending spot for the playoffs. I think this team should be still good next year, but we are going to probably let go of a few pieces because we do have younger guys that are going to be jumping up. Because if we look down here, like guys like Charlie Selby should be in our lineup, Dennis Tucker maybe even next season. And then also if we go down to like our reliever wise, Joe Green could always be in our lineup. And then yeah, there's like a lot of guys that are getting really good development, like Chad Hirsch, Bronson Bonner could be in our lineup. Bronson Bonner's actually got really good power hitting, so I would suggest maybe putting him in as our second catcher. I don't know. But yeah, we have a lot of decisions to make for next season because we do have a lot of good young guys developing pretty well. And our team is getting to the point where we have way too many MLB ready players. So anyways, let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.